Hi, my name is Duarte, and welcome to Still Not a Millionaire. And this week, that is just starting, I'm planning to shift a bit my focus from the US market to other markets, namely the market of my country, the Portuguese market. So let's see if there is any investment opportunity or if it is still too early to invest on. Jumping into TradingView or a charting platform. If you have seen the previous videos, I always like to start by watching just by doing a quick overview of what's happening in the US, because well, it is basically the most developed market and the most heated market. Okay, and well, in the we can see that the week the week was kind of a consolidation, because well, it started to grow, but then had a large red candle, and it ended up gaining or compensating for the loss that it had faced previously. So it means that things are a bit consolidating. I don't. There was already a sharp movement downward. Okay, where the index has lost around almost 13% of value. Okay, well, I'm sorry, at the bottom. Okay, comparing the highest point at and the bottom, now it had lost from the top almost 10% of its value. But one thing that some friends of mine have reminded me is that I was probably focusing too much on the US, and well, I should also focus on other markets and what's happening in other markets. And being Portuguese, of course, we always have a bit more understanding about the companies that operate in our country. So I'm also adding to my watch list the market index PSI20. Okay, that is basically the index of the biggest Portuguese companies that are traded. Okay, and as you can see on the even though comparing the US and the Portuguese market, US, even though it had already a sharp decline, it is nowhere near the levels that it had during the COVID during the peak of the COVID-19. Okay, that happened between March and April. But I don't know your opinion. In my opinion, the COVID is still too far away to disappear. Okay, a possible vaccine might be there, but there are still a lot of trials, a lot of phases ahead, and I don't know if this year we'll have the vaccine or not. And even if we have, well, until then, there are still a lot of meaningful economic impacts and structural changes. There is a lot of people that won't be able to recover their previous job, for example. Okay, and are facing a lot of struggle, and it of course reflects in the markets. Okay, but as you can see, the side 20, that is the Portuguese index, hasn't rise to the previous levels before COVID. Okay, instead it seems that it's reaching the a lowest point in almost a level that it hadn't reached until the mid of May. Okay, so it is already a significant low. It This is caused mostly by the increasing number of COVID-19 cases. Okay, because as you can see, this is still a problem too far from being completely solved. Okay, and the economic impacts are still surging, but we want to invest, of course, in the long term, and this can be a good opportunity for us investors who have some liquidity out there and some cash that we don't need to face our basic needs. Okay, in order to take advantage of a good entry point and invest in long term. If we take into account this high, okay, before COVID-19, and take the most recent close, the index has decreased almost one quarter of its value. Okay, which is of course very significant. If you buy here and sell it higher, of course you would get almost 35% of appreciation. Okay, but what stocks should we see? Well, one advantage of using the Portuguese index is that there aren't a lot of great or big public stocks. Okay, and if you are also using the TradingView as your shorting platform, you can use one functionality that is very useful, which is called Stock Screener. Okay, which you can open below here. For those of you who don't know, TradingView is a free platform. Okay, of course you have some premium plans, some additional functionalities, but well, I don't pay for them, so everything you will see here is free. And we just need to select Portuguese market. Okay, I have some filters here. Make sure to, if you want to consider all the companies available, make sure to clean your filters. Okay, and we have here some companies that are traded in the Lisbon market. Okay, in the Lisbon exchange. And well, it depending on your strategy, you might choose to focus on one factor such as dividends instead of other things such as technical analysis. Okay, and since I want to invest in the long term, I want companies that are solid. Okay, so it's important to also look at the things from, for example, you can watch your valuation. You have some measures, okay, such as EV to EBITDA, to see if the company is undervalued or overvalued. We have some things in performance is more associated with technical analysis. Okay, for example, let's see those stocks that have decreased most in 3 months. Okay, so we have the top gainers and the top losers. For example, Galp and Cofina, Ram, Teixeira Duarte, and so on. Okay, so my idea for this week is to basically focus on this list, focus on some indicators from technical indicators, and for example, where was it, margins. Okay, is also important if you want to see if company is being profitable or not, and if the margins are attractive or not. You can open here this division, this section, and see the margins of the companies. Okay, and also dividends. Well, despite there is a lot of pros and cons regarding dividends. Some people like it, some people don't. Because I want to have a diversified portfolio, I want to also dedicate a portion of my portfolio to dividend paying stocks. And as you can see, there are some dividends with attractive dividend yields. Of course, some of these might not be sustainable. Of course, as you can see, NOS, for example, a telecommunications company, had paid almost 10% in dividends. We shouldn't expect to reach these levels of dividend yields every year, but well, it is still an attractive. We have some attractive situations that might be interesting to start building our long-term portfolio. And if you are at better entry points than the ones we currently find in the US market. For example, as I mentioned previously, I was also watching Visa stock, but as you can see, it is still at some consolidation levels, and the entry point is really still not there. Okay, so this will be what I'm going to do this week. Okay, also to see how things evolve, if number of cases continue, if there are other problems that lead markets even lower, and well, I will see in the next week which companies I've selected to start investing. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you are also Portuguese, tell me which companies would you invest. Otherwise, if you live in another country, I also suggest you to shift a bit your focus from only the US market and start thinking about other companies and broadening your horizons, because you might also find other attractive investment opportunities that many people aren't talking about, and this way getting a better return in the long term. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe and all of that stuff, and I will see you on the next video.